If one of my reading goals for the year 2025 is to actually finish each month a different series that I've already started, it doesn't count if I use a surprise sequel to knock out that goal for this month. I'm gonna say, since it's my account, my goals, my rules, yes. After holding on to this book for a couple months, I returned to Lovecraft Country with the sequel, The Destroyer of Worlds. This is actually, I feel like, a really good topic right now, because one of the book talk things that I've seen floating around, besides the doom and gloom of this being possibly the last days, is should non-BIPOC authors even try to write BIPOC characters if they're not going to do them justice? My opinion is no. Unless you're going to push yourself to be a good writer, you should be staying back from them. And yet I have Matt Ruff, a white author who tackles on systematic racism, the history and legacy of slavery and the civil rights movement in America, with his first novel, Lovecraft Country, and its sequel, The Destroyer of Worlds. There are obviously going to be some white characters because they are going to play the villains for the most part within this story, but these two novels really focus in on one Black family and the different characters within it. The first novel was so successful in tackling real horror and literary horror, the melding of the two, that it was even generated into a series that got a lot of acclaim. Obviously, this book picks off after that novel ends, and we're seeing what happened to the different powers and gifts that they accumulated in the first novel. And when it comes to mysticism and racism, is evil ever truly fully dead? Not to spoil it too much, but not really, at least not in these pages. As the sequel, it brings back a bunch of characters that I really adore, and even though it is a little bit of a different arc, it still kind of follows the same action, revelation, betrayals the first novel had. This book also tries to touch on different historical points by adding Roanoke Island. Atticus and his father Montrose end up doing a journey that starts off the book retracing their ancestors' escape from slavery to the North, while still talking about Jim Crow traveling, but focusing it more on the southwestern states, like Nevada. There's also a little bit of a hint of the things to come, as there's an atomic bomb testing. And even though this is a work of fiction, from what we know from history, things are going to change, but the civil rights movement is just getting started. Of the books I've read by this author, Matt Ruff, he has yet to disappoint. He's definitely an auto-buy author for me. But what about y'all? Have you read this book? What do you think when it comes to him taking on different characters that doesn't match his skin tone or his gender? Do you think he does a good job? Do you think he fails? Are you still watching, or are you also doom scrolling through every single video in these last days? Let me know by sharing your thoughts in the comments below.